Are we live? We're live. Hey guys, I hope you're well. Welcome to another Strongman Sunday. We are 2 weeks away from the Arnold Classic. We are looking forward to that one. I saw you said something about the first major competition of the year, and you got kind of bombarded with people saying, "Oh, was the British not a major?"
No, national titles aren't a major.
We cannot say that national titles are the same as the Arnold's or World's Strongest Man.
I think there's four majors.
Four majors.
Yeah, the Arnold's, the World's Strongest Man, the Strongest Man on Earth, and the Rogue Invitational. Those are
then
the four
we look
majors.
at the.
Then I would say the World Tour final.
Yeah, I put like all the major Giants live shows.
Yeah, the international.
Then the rest of them after that.
Yeah,
I love Britain's, but we can't say a national title is a major.
No.
Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
Enough of that.
How is everybody?
We've
what are we doing?
I don't know. I
see you snooping on my computer a second ago.
You left it on the screen, guys. Go check out my Instagram stories, Mrs._Shahlaei. Right, every athlete that Loz coaches has a profile. Okay, and I've seen these before. They're serious, right? And he writes all these notes about them.
Much more in depth than yours, most of them.
Yeah, and I saw that mine was up, and it was at the top where it said like my name, my age, and stuff. And I thought, oh, I wonder what he said about me. So I scrolled down, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's all very true.
It's all very true. So weaknesses is a princess. Injuries, sore hand.
I think you were whinging about your hand one day. So
I get a sore wrist. I have hypermobility. You know this. Yes. But never
Strengths
mind.
Being my wife.
Yeah.
You could have found a lot worse on there. So if that's all you're finding, we're all good.
You were like, oh, I could have written worse. I was like, yeah, weaknesses. Big bearded tattooed men. Anyway, we're getting off to the wrong start. We are. Where are we? We had an
apprentice Alex. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'm not sure if you were able to join us or not. Hopefully you have for a little bit, or you can watch this back.
Yes.
Won't make much of the stream. Quick follow-up to the circus question from last week. Would love to see Loz react to some of Hercules' shorts. Huge huge strength inspiration for me. Multiple all-time
strength world records.
Right. I quickly thought
we just found him on Instagram.
The honest answer is I hadn't seen this guy before, but I've quickly had a look at his Instagram. Chris Ryder, he is an old school strongman, pretty cool stuff. I was kind of flicking through it. I could do that.
I could do that.
Because I do like a lot of these old feats of strength, tearing phone books.
Yeah.
Decks of cards, bending nails, spanners. Yeah, tearing.
Why don't you do some of it then?
Well, I've done it for you before. You've seen me do plenty of these things before.
Yeah, but I'm not impressed. Do it for the people.
When I was good at strongman, I knew nothing about Instagram and social media and stuff like that.
You still don't know anything about
this is true. But yeah, I don't mind doing some fun things like this.
Should.
Although I was going through it saying I can do that. Then I got to him playing the guitar. I was like, no,
I can't do that. Yeah, he'd kick your ass there, wouldn't he?
Yes. Yeah. But no, there's some cool things on there.
It is cool.
A lot of fun things that I like. I've shown you stuff like this.
I
might sound like a big head, but I've done a lot of these feats of strength myself. So yeah, maybe we'll put some. Although I kind of like our stupid reels that most of you realize are stupid and a joke. But a large percentage of people don't realize that it's a joke.
I know, which just makes it even
the one
funnier.
Of you lifting me, and they're going, he's just doing a pull-up. Firstly, I'm glad you guys think I can do a pull-up. That's very good.
He was doing like a reverse dip.
Yeah, I was pushing myself up.
Yeah.
Because actually pulling up, my legs kind of fly forward as well.
Yeah.
You can have a bit more momentum. But the fact that some people don't realize it's a joke is quite. A joke. I don't know if it's a lack of sense of humor on some people, or
I think so, and a lack of common sense.
I mean,
in others.
Auntie Liz is doing very well in the gym,
but I'm not doing bloody 300-pound skull crushers.
No, well, just
can you imagine?
I'm weighing in at 290ish at the moment.
Sorry, 290.
Yeah,
there we go.
I'm a bit lighter, so maybe you can throw me around like a little rag doll, but I doubt it.
No, definitely not. Anyway,
but I hope those of you that do have a sense of humor are enjoying them.
Matthew, greetings and thank you for the fun uploads of Rebecca and Andrea. They're looking good, both of them, and super excited for the Arnolds, both looking like top 3 so far. Also stoked for the app to drop.
Thank you very much, Matthew. It's been fun having them both down.
It's been really nice having them down,
and, the app should be, the goal is after the Arnolds, it should be up and ready. We've put a lot of work into it recently, and it's getting close.
Patricia, I would never change Loz for an artificial intelligence.
Thank you very much.
I might, after seeing the notes about me, to be honest, guys. AI wouldn't do
They
the day.
really weren't that bad. Go and have a look, guys. Tell me if you think they're that bad.
They're not bad. It's just, it made me laugh that I don't even get any serious notes. I was excited to see them.
Well, you know, you can. Yeah, the fact that you've got notes is quite impressive. I didn't even give you notes to start with.
Well, yeah, to be fair, I actually have a profile now.
I thought she's going to stick this out for about a month, but you've been consistently training.
I'm on about my 6th training block.
Yeah, that's why it was up on my computer. I was doing your training block.
Yeah, there we go. Liz, will we be getting the rest of the interviews for the Arnolds? Hope there's enough time for them. I hope there's enough time for them too, Laura. It's slowed down. It's been, with the women in particular, it's been very difficult to pin down dates. Like,
do you know what? The easiest people for you were probably the most famous.
Yeah. Thor was easily the easiest.
Thor was very reliable.
I messaged him and he messaged me back an hour later and he was like, yeah, that sounds great. How about in 2 days' time at this time? I was like, yeah. And he was there exactly on time. And yeah, he was the easiest. Yeah.
Most people have had to cancel or
there's been a lot of rearranging, yeah, but especially with the women because they all work. And for a lot of them, there's the time difference as well.
And now we're in half term.
Well, now we're in half term, yeah. But I've got Sam Bellevue going out tomorrow. I'm hoping to nail. I've sent some messages out today, so I'm hoping to nail a load this week. Fingers crossed we can get there in time. But we will see. Can't wait for the Arnold. Glad Loz is back on the mic this year. Hoping to meet you and Liz.
Thank you very much, Rob. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Had a good meeting the other day with the team.
Yeah, that's good.
It's going to be exciting. Yeah, it's going to be good.
And if you just probably shouldn't encourage this, poor Loz, but if afterwards you just hang around in that general area, you'll see Loz coming out. You'll be able to meet him, and I'll be quite available throughout because I'll be flitting back and forth between backstage and the stage. Well, not the stage. I'm not going on stage, but the audience. Where are we? Andrea truly is the queen of strong women YouTube. Also, Tom finally dropping a little training footage. Yeah, did you see that?
No,
I haven't watched it, but I read some. I read about him, read it. He did 230 overhead.
Oh, nice.
For two, and
he hit 240 at the World's Strongest Man a few years ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
so
and
he's going to be good at that. I'll tell you what.
They're great events.
That overhead is looking awesome.
Yeah,
I've seen great videos from almost everyone.
Yeah. No, it's looking really good. Very competitive.
All right.
Sai
says all right.
Okay. Ooh. Hello from the frozen country of Canada. It's currently minus 27, but fear not. I'm cozy and warm, waiting for Strongman Sunday to begin. Oof.
That's really cool. We're complaining at like -5. Well, we complain at +5, but
yeah, I was going to say it doesn't even need to get that cold, to be honest, for us to upload. Sorry, I was reading that for us to complain. Enjoy Tom's upload. He's looking on form. Good. We want to see everyone in shape. We want to see a big battle. I want to see a bloodbath between these beasts. Tim, thank you so much for the super chat. Dropping in from the kids' trampoline park for my son's early birthday party. Watching the most intense game of dodgeball.
Oh, wow.
Everyone is doing well. Hope you survive it, Tim.
Have a good one, buddy.
Very loud and very difficult. Loz, what do you make of Devon's win? Will he have a chance against Levan? He looked very dominant. I got to say, if you're not an arm wrestling fan, it's probably one of the worst matches to watch with all the faffing at the start between them both. It's the only one I didn't watch.
Taking ages to set up. I don't think he's going to beat Levan just yet, but he's not got a match against Levan just yet. So he's coming big. Do you see how big he was? Yeah, massive. I don't think Jodie's too happy with him being that big, but if he wants to beat Levan, I guess that's what it's going to take. But he's clearly probably the number 2 in the world. It's a big step up to Levan. Mark, everyone peaking nicely for the Arnolds. Yes, the Arnolds is a big comp. You got to come in shape. Yeah, only 10 days now till we fly out. Yes, how exciting! Looking forward to it. Everyone just saying hello to each other. Lungo, hope you're okay, buddy. Where is he? There he is. Bless him. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. He actually made a live for once. Thank you for joining us. What are the events for World's Strongest Man 2025? We don't know. We can have a good stab at a guess of the heat events, because last year they were almost identical to Europe's Strongest Man. The year before there was a lot of similarities as well. So since the World's Strongest Man moved back towards springtime and is now so close to Europe's,
the organizers have made Europe's events very similar to the heats of World's Strongest Man. I guess it just makes it so much easier for the athletes to prepare rather than have to prepare for Europe's and the heats and then the finals events also. So looking at Europe's Strongest Man, they've got an overhead medley, which consists of, I think it's 4 different implements that they have to do twice, which is quite interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
They have the anchor, load and drag. What else do they have? Stones, obviously. Axle deadlift for reps. What else is it? There's another moving event in there. Shield? I can't remember. Yeah, there's shield carry for max distance. Yeah. So we will see, but we won't know. Who knows when they'll announce it, to be honest. Who knows?
Yeah, Rob's been super impressed with all the behind the neck press videos, as have we. Everyone's looking good.
Everyone, yeah.
But this is the key. Looking good in training and then performing when it counts.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Go and watch how many people will look good in training and falter when it comes to competition.
Yeah.
That is key, is making it happen when it counts. Don't do your max in the gym. Do it in competition.
Yeah. Matty, surely we have to start with the Mitch and Luke videos this week. Some of the best videos I've seen in a while. You were called up on his members only live stream, weren't you?
I've been called up by Mitch a few times this week.
Yeah, for nonsense reasons. Yeah.
Firing me for AI at one point, hiring me back a few moments later. Mitch is funny. His videos are good.
They did a like a tandem powerlifting thing.
Do you know, I think Luke going out to train with Mitch could be one of the best things for him.
For Luke, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it'll open his eyes to the way Mitch thinks. And, you know, Mitch is a unique individual.
Yeah. But
it also shows what's capable as a strong man.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, myself included, you know, you don't think about that other side of strongman. You just think about competition and training. And Mitch has really thought about how to make something. Eddie was very good at that as well.
Building a brand.
You know, building a brand. Yeah, exactly.
And like seeing what Mitch has done with his life, it's
but
quite
also
inspiring.
not being so tunnel vision that it's just training is everything. Because sometimes people obsess about it. Mitch trains really hard, but he's got a lot of other things going on. Whereas some athletes, they just focus on that.
It's everything. Yeah.
And the thing with strongman, 2-3 hours a day of training is all you need.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of it, you don't have to just be sat around doing nothing.
And another thing with strongman, one really serious injury could end it all.
Yes.
But like, what's left? If that's all you have in your life, like, what would be left after that? So it is good to have lots of things going.
Malcolm.
Hold on. Let's just double check these. Look, see, people saying nice things. I like your dynamic. Never stop joking and roasting each other.
That is basically how we live 24/7, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although more roasting from Liz than me.
Loz gets so much shit.
It's 70-30, I'd say.
80-20. Yeah. Love the vids with Becca. She is so delightful. She genuinely is delightful. She's very sweet. Malcolm, Loz, who is that red-bearded Josh in your video with Andrea? Please tell me that guy is a strongman. He seems to have a lot of potential. That is Josh Law. He is... that's a selfie. Josh Law is he's a bodybuilder who trains at our gym. He's one of Loz's training partners. He's very strong for a bodybuilder. He's an absolute
beast. Yeah. Josh is awesome. Brilliant person to train with. Really, really hardworking and motivating. And he loves, I mean, he's a great bodybuilder. He would be a good strongman if he focused on it. He doesn't focus on strongman, but he is very strong.
He's never competed in strongman.
No. We're trying to convince him to do a show. Yeah. But, bodybuilding is his main focus, and he's very, very good.
We've been dragging him into a lot more of our shenanigans recently.
Yeah, poor guy.
I think he secretly enjoys it. He does. He definitely does.
He does. Yeah, I mean, if like Josh is a beast, genuinely, and very knowledgeable. You go and follow him on Instagram. Josh Law. I can't remember what his name is on there.
It is Josh Law, but it might be
Josh
like
Law.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me have a quick look.
He's looking in shape for the Arnolds. Looking to be a great show shaping up. Oh yeah, look, Claire Myler commented. Josh Law, awesome bodybuilder. Hi, Claire.
Yeah.
Loz, have you ever done a boat pull?
Yes, I have. World's Strongest Man, 2008. Was it? I did that boat pull.
Was it an arm?
No, not 2009. Arm over arm boat pull. Do you remember when Marius did real quick and everyone was like, "Oh,
that was 2009 final."
And then
yes,
Brian Shaw came out.
Yeah, up the ramp. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've done another one in comp before as well. But yes, I have.
There you go. Dalton Mason, thank you for the super chat. How was everyone's Valentine's Day? Don't mean to brag, but Luke Richardson said I had nice legs on Mitch's member stream. Needless to say, it was epic. Well, we've all seen your legs, Dalton, because you walk around in those little 3-inch shorts, doesn't he? Remember,
does.
Strongest Man on Earth.
But he's got the legs to pull it off. They're not like stick legs, are they?
Wow, no, I guess. There you go. You have lovely legs from Loz also. How was your Valentine's?
It was okay.
Supposed to say it was amazing.
Yeah, well, every day is like Valentine's Day being reviewed.
Exactly.
You got me some diet Coke Zeros, and I got Liz some protein bars. We're very romantic like that.
Very romantic.
To be fair, we don't need a Valentine's Day, do we?
No, we don't. Every day is Valentine's Day in the Shahlaei household. There you go. Toby with the members comment. What did you make of Mitch and Luke's tandem lifting? Have you seen any of it? I think
I have.
Bits have started to trickle out onto Instagram. Yeah.
Put it this way. As Mitch's coach,
I hate it.
Knowing he had to do a heavy deadlift the next day, probably wasn't, super thrilled about it. But it's Mitch. I have had to learn to just accept these things with Mitch. And he couldn't have picked a more delicate strongman to do it with. Like, I'm surprised Luke did it.
Yeah. With
what's happened to him in the past. But I also think it's a good thing to just have some fun. And I don't mind in the slightest. Is it ideal for the night before a heavy deadlift single? Probably not. But it's Mitch. I'm just used to Mitch now. And I'd rather he's happy than hold him back completely.
Yeah. Hyped to see how Andrew and Rebecca perform at the Arnold's. It was great to see a little behind the scenes snippet of their training.
I'm glad that people enjoy seeing them. I know they're not the most popular videos, but it's fun to just show that dynamic. And I think it shows their personalities as well. Both very different as well.
Yeah, both totally different people. Yeah, both great and funny in very different ways. Like,
I'll tell you what, though, I said to Andrea, because Andrea has the potential to be incredible. She is so strong, but sometimes her head can go elsewhere. I was super impressed with how she was looking when she came down.
Yeah.
Like, she's looking strong.
Yeah, she's looking great. Yeah. Turtle Hubby, thank you for the super chat. Would you rather have a couple of comps throughout the year or one large comp with all prizes combined once a year?
As an athlete, I'd rather have multiple comps so you can have the chance to make prize money multiple times. If everything was just on one competition, one guy would go away with a great payday, but everyone else would be struggling. So it's important to have more than one comp if you're going to have it as a professional sport. If it was just, if you took football and your only chance to win some prize money was like the World Cup final or something like that, just as an example, suddenly there's no sport. Yeah. So you need more than one comp to do it professionally.
Yeah. Is Thor going to pull the 501?
He's looking very strong. He is looking very strong. If you asked me 3 months ago, I'd probably say no. But now I'm a believer. It's not a guarantee, but by no means. But there's a chance, that's for sure. He's definitely put the work in, and I think he's going to come in with the focus of doing the record over winning the competition.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. I find your Instagram skits insanely funny. Oh, good. Thank you, Matt.
I'm glad you have a sense of humor, Matt, as well. It's good to hear.
I can't wait to go to my first Arnold's this year. I was able to get a few days off work to go. Oh, that's awesome, Al.
I saw a few of these comments. In the recent video, heard you say that farmers is a comp weight for Liz. So the competition Liz did last year, she is thinking about doing this year.
Considering.
And one of the events is the Farmer's Walk, and you did do the comp weight for the Farmer's Walk.
Yeah, apparently so.
So we're trying to sort of gently nudge her to do it. She's not convinced yet, but you're enjoying your training and you're feeling stronger.
Yeah, I am stronger. Yeah.
You're lighter as well, 12 kilos lighter.
Yeah, compared to when, compared to doing the competition last year.
And eating more.
Eating so much more. It's amazing. I don't stop eating. I love it. I'm literally training to eat more. That is my ultimate goal. How much can I possibly eat while still not putting on weight? I'm like my own little science project. Yes. Someone's like, who's doing your nutrition? I'm like, I am doing my nutrition. I'm not having someone tell me that I can't eat that. No, couldn't. No,
doing very
this
well.
Way's much better. Thank you. Where are we? Oh, shut up, Malcolm. We're not all Canadian. I asked her on the interview, did I say your name correctly? She said perfect. So, there we go. Where are we? Sweden Arm Wrestling Television said, hi, Lars, it'd be cool to meet you in person someday. We were both busy at Arm War, so sometime did you catch East versus West and the matches?
That would be really cool. And yes, I watched the whole event yesterday. What a show it was. Awesome. I loved that main event. The last match was super heavyweight match between Vitaly Lelette and Artem Moratov was awesome. There was a lot of good matches. My least favorite match was the Devon Gennady match, but that's kind of standard.
Fred in the house, gifting memberships. Thank you very much, Fred.
Hey, Fred, we will see you at the Arnold's, I believe.
Yes, he's coming, yeah. Any advice to someone who's had a serious confidence knock in his first strongman comp?
Look, doing competition doesn't always go to plan, but you can learn so much more from the knocks than the wins, to be quite honest. So try and think about what was good, what wasn't so good, and what you can learn from it, and then get back to the drawing board, make a plan of where you need to improve, be realistic with those kind of plans, and get back into it. It's, you know, I've lost many times in many different sports, but you can, as long as you can learn from it and come back better, that's all that matters. Do not expect to come into your first strongman comp winning. I see people with these kind of great expectations of what they're doing. I know a young lad, he's kind of said, right, I want to be able to total 600 pounds or 600 kilos so that I can win my first powerlifting comp. It's like, well, how do you know you're going to win? You don't know who's turning up.
Well, exactly.
So
and you can't control what they're able to do. Yeah.
All you can focus on is getting better and enjoying the sport. And if you can do those two things, you'll keep getting better, you'll keep enjoying it, you keep going, and you'll make progress. If all you focus on is the result, very quickly people stop enjoying it. So it's important to have both. Yes, you want to get better. Yeah, we want to win. That's natural. We all want to win. But focus on enjoying it first and getting better.
Yeah. My advice is set your expectations low, and then it can only be good. But it sounds like you were probably putting a bit too much pressure on yourself for your first one.
And it's very common. You know, I think people forget how hard these sports are. You know, I got my ass kicked in an arm wrestling match recently, but I'm not going to sit and cry about it. You know, it's a learning curve. These things happen. And as long as I can learn from it and come back better next time, then it's a positive. If I give up, then I'm never going to get better. So it's important to kind of take it the right way. But I know so many athletes that just get their ass kicked and then they come back. But Tom Stoltman came last at Britain's Strongest Man one year.
Yeah.
Look how good he is.
Yeah.
So we all lose at times.
Claire Myler, I'm getting such bad FOMO about Arnold's now. I wish I was coming.
We wish you were coming too, Claire. It's a shame you're not there this year, but we'll wave to you on the stream.
Oh, don't make it worse. I get terrible FOMO. Like
when we went at OSG.
I was going to say that was like the only competition we didn't go to. And I had such bad FOMO that I booked our flights to the Arnold's during, but then didn't need to in the end because they called you up for commentary. But still, it's nice to know you've got something to look forward to, isn't it? With Thor possibly not going for the win, how do his really good events mess up points for other athletes? That's a good question. What are Thor's really good events here? I would say, obviously, the deadlift. I would say the timber carry, based off of his result last year, was very really good. I
think he was second last year.
He was. So, No, he was third because Mateusz was there also. I think he was third. Mitch, then Mateusz, then Thor. But without Mateusz there, but with Maxim, it would be close between those two, I'd have thought. I think
he could be really good at the
trial by timber. Yeah, trial by timber would be really good for him. I expect the stone to shoulder to be good for him also. So how can he mess up points? I mean, if he gets in between.
He was second on the frame carry.
Was he second?
Carry, yep.
Good for him. Yeah, there you go. So he could still hurt other people like by getting in between them. So say, I don't know, you can come up with some examples, pushing people down on the timber carry.
It's really hard to say because it all requires him trying.
Yeah.
And does he keep trying after the deadlift is
especially if he got the deadlift.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think Thor being in helps someone like Mitch because Tom and Lucas,
Yeah,
Thor
he
could
can
get between them
Yeah,
in events and
like
do
the timber
favors.
carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we?
Likewise, he could get between, like it could happen the other way as well. Like Tom and Lucas could do amazing events. Thor might get between Mitch the other way. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Where are we? Big T, thank you for the super chat. Loz, any tips or thoughts from Max yoke event? 3 attempts, no drops allowed, sudden death. Thanks in advance.
Any tips or thoughts from Max? Firstly, I don't like a Max yoke event. I think it's very dangerous. However, it's in your comps, you've got to do it. I wouldn't treat it the same as I would treat a standard yoke. So normally yoke is about speed, whereas I'm guessing this one is a short distance. Or have they got to move? Any tips on Max yoke event?
3 attempts, no drops allowed. I guess it's for Max. I don't know.
Max distance.
Yeah, maybe it's max distance with a max. I don't know actually. Max yoke.
I'm sorry, Big T. I'm just kind of not sure on whether I've read it right. So is it?
If it's no drops, I guess it's max distance, and that would terminate your
but it says okay, 3 attempts.
3 attempts though. You wouldn't go 3 times. You go once, wouldn't you? With a set
because I've done yoke so many different ways. So without kind of knowing the rule list, like normally a yoke's 20 meters, fastest man wins. You can drop it. The other ways I've seen is max distance, so just going as far as you possibly can, and then I've seen max weight for a short distance. If it's max weight for a short distance, which makes sense with the 3 attempts to me, much slower. It's going to be about just control, making sure that yoke is set up perfectly on your back and being safe. When you're going fast, you can take that risk to drop it. So I would be focusing on quite a low pickup, because you want to be able to lift as much as possible. Normally, if it was about speed, I'd be going for a high pickup so that I can have, when I say high pickup, I mean
have the bar low so it's higher off the ground.
So I've got higher clearance away from the floor. Whereas if it's that kind of heavy weight, if I was doing like max weight,
you don't want to take it any further than necessary.
Just a short pickup and really stable, making sure my scapula's pulled back, the bar going across the rear delts, all the way across the traps to the other rear delt, and just slow, steady steps. You wouldn't want to be going quick to risk going down. But just be careful, make sure you're braced, make sure you're kind of using your legs to lift, not your back, and do the best you can, buddy.
Don't hold it with your arms.
Don't hold it with your arms.
Does Loz prefer conventional chalk or liquid chalk?
I like both. I like sometimes put liquid chalk on, let it dry, and then if I need to top it up, I'll put normal chalk on as well. But I really don't care. I can use both perfectly fine. I'm not someone that sort of gets too obsessed with having a favorite as such. If you give me either, I'm not going to complain or say, oh no, I can only do it with such and such.
Yeah. Do you know who the Gym Reaper is?
Yes.
Joshua Baker?
Yes. I follow him.
If so, do you think he can get the raw max bench world record?
I don't think he's quite at the raw max record yet, but he's still a massive bencher. But I'd say Julius Maddox and maybe 1 or 2 others are still a little bit ahead in terms of absolute best chance of getting the record.
Yeah. Lots of encouragement for me to do the competition.
Do it, Liz.
Yes.
Go on, Liz. Go on.
Hold on. Liz, quit wasting your incredible genetics and go compete again. I don't have good genetics for being strong, I should point out. Like, I think I'm naturally quite weak.
I don't think you're naturally weak. You have normal genetics for strength.
Very normal.
You have very good genetics for getting in shape.
Yes, which you don't need to be to do strongwoman. So, yeah. Oh, well. At least I can look good as I fail. No, I wouldn't. Yeah. Did Loz smoke cigarettes as a youth?
No, I never smoked.
There's all of us strong people training to eat more. At least I am. Well done, Toby. Where are we? What was the hardest demon for you to defeat? It's very deep for a Sunday evening,
It's
isn't
really
it?
deep. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't have demons.
I don't really think I have any demons. Coming back from injuries was always hard.
Yeah.
Always hard. But I'm pretty chilled. I think coaching has kind of shown me that a lot of people stress a lot more than they should.
Mm.
You know, I've always been, don't get me wrong, I take things very seriously and I wanted to win all the time. But I think some people almost put too much pressure on themselves. I mean, it's hard to say because I've broken world records, I've won huge titles, but I think having kids was the best thing for me because it made me realize. But before I had Ava, I probably was a bit more stressed and uptight about things. I think when you have kids, it makes you realize there's something more important in the world, and it made me realize strongman, as much as I love it and as much as I wanted to win, it wasn't the end of the world if I didn't.
Yeah.
And I that's made me a happier, better person, to be honest.
Oh, my leg's gone numb.
Well, you're sitting like that then. You're
You're
sitting on your leg.
Idiot. Yeah.
I think the best thing you can do is just chill a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, all you're doing if you're doing sport or doing strongman, you're lifting shit up and putting it back down. It's nothing groundbreaking, you know. All right, you're breaking the ground, but
I was going to say some people are.
Yeah. I've never seen it as anything special. No. Like,
it's a personal thing, though, isn't it? It's about like
you want to bet yourself. Like for me, it's just part of me. I wish I could still do what I used to be able to do. I genuinely love training. I love challenging myself. You know, I look back at some of the stuff I did and I was like, damn, how did I do that? But also there's always been more important things. And I think there should be more important things.
There should. Matty, I'm glad you're back on commentary. Last year just wasn't the same.
Thank you, Matty.
Crazy Ape, Loz, will your app have intermediate routines? I've been running a 5x5 for about 35 weeks and hitting plateaus a lot now, so need some ideas to continue progressing. I started strength training at 51.
Yes, indeed, buddy. There's going to be multiple programs within the app for powerlifting, for strongman, and for people just generally wanting to train and get in better shape. So things like what Liz has done on the women's side of things, some of the way I train these days, going to have more advanced training protocols on there. There'll be regular updates on there. So we may do a training program leading up to something like OSG, for instance. So, you know, a lot of people will want to compete in something like that. And there'll be programs leading up to certain competitions, maybe protocols that we use for Mitch Hooper or certain athletes for different types of competitions. So there's going to be a lot of continually updated programs, and there's going to be a fair few that are on there from the start as well. Right from beginner to advanced.
Daniel, Rebecca appears to have made some significant positive changes since she started working with you. What are your thoughts on her progress so far, and where do you think you can get her to?
Rebecca has a lot of personal stuff going on. So progress has actually been slightly slower than I would expect, which probably sounds crazy, but I genuinely, I've said this to her because the most important thing is that she's okay. And that comes first to me. But I genuinely believe, give us 2 years, she can be the greatest strong woman we've ever seen. I genuinely believe that with Rebecca. She's not there yet. There's a lot of progress to make in that time. There's certain times of the year that I want her to not compete so that we can just focus on making progress. But I believe she can be the best strong woman we've ever seen, hands down.
Nice. Can't I leave that? How much are a dozen eggs in the UK right now? Do you know what? The ones we buy are really expensive, I think. £4.10. You know, for those nice ones. I'm a bit funny with eggs. Obviously, I don't want
anything
them caged.
Between like £3.50 to £4.50, I guess, for a dozen.
Yeah, I go for the nice ones. Yeah,
everything is expensive right now.
What's our average monthly electric bill? Don't know. Don't even check. It's just on direct debit. Don't look.
I can tell you more food bill.
Food bill. Fucking hell, that's expensive. Like, yeah. I mean, if you add in the top-up shops, I do a weekly shop twice a week.
Yeah.
And then we do little top-ups as well. I reckon we spend about £400 a week on food.
400.
If you think those 2 weekly shops about £150 each, and crazy, the little top-ups at the co-op and little Tesco as well.
We're a family of 5, plus the dog, but and me.
And me.
Yeah, honestly,
I think we spend a lot on food.
We do spend a lot on food.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Too much.
Okay. Just join the chat. I heard Liz saying something about keeping expectations low. Is she giving dating advice? No, I wouldn't give dating advice. Then my expectations would be very high. Very high.
Was that what got you with me? Low expectations. It'd be quite funny to do like some agony aunt questions.
Agony Auntie Liz. Yeah.
There we go, guys. What questions have you got for Auntie Liz tonight?
I give
You have 10,
really
10 minutes of
advice.
ask anything that you want and see what she comes out with. It'll probably be ridiculous.
It would be ridiculous. I'm not the person for good advices. Loz, how do you think you'd have done on the behind the neck press in your prime? I know overhead lifts didn't tend to be your best events, but you had a great axle press.
I was good at overhead events.
Loz's offend.
No. There was a period I was getting very good overhead. I had the
you were crap to
British
begin with,
record and for 5 minutes world record on the axle. I had the British record on the log for a while. So yeah, I got okay at that. I wasn't naturally good at those. I had to work really hard. But actually, the behind the neck press would have suited me more because it's a lot more technical and more leg drive, leg power based rather than shoulder and tricep based. So I think I could have done okay on it, but I don't know what I could have lifted. Like it's so hard to say because it was just not a lift we ever had to do.
No. Look, my friend Danielle is here.
Hey.
Who wins arm wrestling? Uncle Loz with one arm or Auntie Liz with two arms? I reckon me with two arms.
Probably.
It would be.
Liz's arms are lethal. His biceps. She's crazy strong.
Not as strong as Danielle, though, to be fair, who's an actual arm wrestler. Yeah. And she does lots of crazy grip lifts and stuff.
Realistically, I still think I could beat Liz, even if she used two arms.
What about my legs?
But Liz is very strong, and I'd like to get her into arm wrestling, but there's no way that's happening.
I'm just busy.
Maybe Danielle can show you how to arm wrestle.
Oh, maybe. I'd listen to her over you.
Is she going to be at the Arnolds?
Yeah, she's coming.
Awesome.
Yeah. We have a date.
Yeah.
Where are we? People saying hello to each other. Who do you think could beat Mitch on the elephant bar other than Thor? Austin? Trey? Yes.
Austin has a chance. Trey has a chance. Bobby has a chance. I would say that's probably it in this lineup.
Yeah, I think.
And that's a chance. Mitch is looking very strong.
And also,
but all of those are great deadlifters. Also,
Mitch would be the best tactician there when it comes to choosing numbers, going in at the right weight, pushing people to outside of their comfort levels. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mitch come second based off of that reason. But
I mean, Bobby has beaten Mitch on that deadlift before. He has,
yeah.
Trey and Mitch tied at the Deadlift World Championships. Mitch normally beats Trey, though, at deadlifts in competition. Yeah. However, this is a max. The one thing with Trey, notoriously, he's not been the best when it comes to selecting numbers.
No.
He's better when it's just a set jump.
Yeah.
And he just has to do it.
It goes in rounds and they can opt in or out. Yeah, I think so too.
But Trey's looking very strong. And Austin just seems to be getting stronger all the time. He's an absolute beast. I think all of them are going to pull something massive.
Yeah. No one's not agreed to do the interviews. I'm waiting to hear back from a couple of people, but I've not been blanked or anything like that. So that's nice. That was my biggest concern. What, no one gets back to me? How embarrassing. No, everyone's been lovely.
Yeah.
I know everyone anyway. Well, most people.
Yeah.
I don't know Jennifer, and that's it actually. Thank you for the super chat, Oz Metala. Is World's Strongest Man becoming America's strongest with international friends, starting to lose interest in World's Strongest Man altogether?
No, not at all. I mean, there's a fair few Americans, but there's still
6
plenty
this year.
Yeah,
which is far fewer than there was last year and the year before. Yeah. It's tricky with World's Strongest Man because I'm of two minds. Like, I really want the international representation, but I also really just want the best guys there too. And if that means they're predominantly from certain parts of the world, then so be it.
Yeah.
But it's undeniably easier to get in when you're from certain parts. Like, there's more opportunities to qualify. So yeah, it needs fixing, but I don't know what the answer is. Without a lot of investment in regional and national and whatever qualifiers, and I mean, there are some parts of the world you just wouldn't put someone in, and we've seen that before. Like, there was a guy from China in 2013 who was wearing a T-shirt saying he's part of the 300 kilo deadlift club, and I bless this man. You know, like
he was in my group.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's not the standard.
I'd rather see another guy from
America
that's good
Yeah.
than someone that's just not going to do anything. However, there are great athletes out there, and I would like to see the sport continue to grow worldwide, so we get the opportunity to see more.
Yeah.
And I think we are seeing a better qualifying. We're getting less and less odd wild cards now.
Yeah, this is by far the most rigidly they have ever stuck to the qualifying process. So everyone who's been invited so far, with 2 exceptions, placed top 5 in a Giants Live last year, or won the World's Strongest Man before, or won OSG or came second. Yeah. And the only exceptions have been Lucas Hatton and Mateusz Kieliszkowski. And I think 99% of people would agree that they want them there. So, yeah.
There we go.
Paul, who do you think the podium is going to be? Are we going to do official predictions?
I think we should.
I think we should too. So you'll have to wait and watch that, because I haven't had time to really stress about that yet.
There's so many kind of storylines with that though as well.
Like, there's so many ways it could go. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong and he does focus on the whole show.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard if you're going to come in and focus on that deadlift to then still have anything left for a whole show, knowing there's 2 overheads as well.
Yeah.
It'll be mentally difficult.
Alprez Cat, thank you for the super chat. If Mitch wants to do a 1,500 pound plus yoke, do you let him?
There was a time that Mitch wanted to, and I put my foot down. So there would be a time that I'd let him, and there'd be a time that I wouldn't. So, you know, right now with the Arnolds coming up, it would be a no-go. If you look at the 2-man record thing, they weren't anywhere near their max. I think they deadlifted like 600 kilos. It's like 300 kilos each. It's nothing that was pushing them to the absolute limit.
Yeah.
Whereas a yoke that heavy would just be dangerous right now.
Yeah. What's this song? Liz doesn't have demons. Demons have Liz. Oh dear. When bulking and building muscle, would lots of reps and sets, or a warm-up set with 2 working sets on top?
I like kind of 2 working sets. I don't think you need to do lots of reps and sets. Multiple reps and sets are better for skill-based athletes or strength athletes. For bodybuilding, you just want to break the muscle down. So we tend to do like a few warm-up sets, and then normally a heavier set and then a lighter back-off set. The lighter back-off set is normally a harder set because you'll increase the intensity somehow, whether it's just a high rep set or a drop set or slow the eccentrics. You know, we kind of do various different things, but I don't think you need to be doing lots and lots of sets to build muscle. Whereas strength, you need to learn the skill. So higher amounts of sets tend to work better for skill-based movements.
Loz, the humble toaster, how far can you throw it? And for the technique gurus amongst us, are you shot putting it or using a
I'd use the cable.
I'd use going for a hammer throw stuff. Oh, like cable, swing it around by its plug.
Yeah, before I even read that, that's what I was thinking I'd
Yeah.
have to do. But then I thought, he's not going to let me do that. But he has. So yes.
You definitely do that over a shot put. That would be a tricky shot put, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it'd be fine, but the toaster is much easier to you'd create a lot more.
You would. Yeah. Oh, that would be fun. Yeah. Should we buy some cheap toasters and try it out?
Try it as a video.
Yeah.
See what household objects we can throw around.
It's wasteful though, isn't
Very.
it? Very wasteful. Because Loz is working at Arnold as a commentator, does the company book his flights and hotel, or does Liz book flights and hotel and get reimbursed? I tend to book our flights and like just add it to the invoice, just because that way I can make sure we're on the same booking. And
if it was just me going, they'd probably book them. They have booked them in the past when it's just been me.
But that way I can make sure we're sat together.
Yeah, so we have to pay for Liz's flights, and we were going anyway, weren't we?
We were.
We'd already booked our flights before I even knew I was working for Rogue, because I wanted to go and be with my athletes and just be there, really, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it was cool that Rogue, thanks to a lot of you guys, Rogue wanted me back. So
that's
nice.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks to you, Loz. You may clearly thought, do you know what's missing? Lots.
Do you know what's cool? I'm only commentating on the men,
Yeah.
so I can coach my women.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I saw someone ask if Rob Kearney's commentating. I don't think so,
No,
because
Rob's not. Kristen Rhodes is doing the women's with Sean.
Jerry Pritchett is also going to be on for the
working.
deadlift, and I believe he's going to sort of flip about.
Jerry's going to be there. Yeah, he's got a different role, but he's going to be there.
Where are we? We pay £7 for 30 large farm eggs delivered to our front door. That is good. We should look at that.
Yeah, we should.
Deliveries for eggs, because we consume a lot of eggs, don't we?
And we've got farms around here, so
yeah. Yeah, we're surrounded. I was about to say we're covered in farms. We're surrounded by farms, aren't we? There's one literally across the road.
Liz could afford Shaw's 10K Costco diet plan. No, she couldn't.
10K Costco diet plan.
Brian Shaw spends ridiculous amounts on
10,000 calories, yeah? Is it? Or $10,000?
I don't know.
Oh.
Probably. I know he spends ridiculous money on food and his gym and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's got the money to do it.
I don't have Brian's budget. Auntie Liz has no demons because she is the demon.
You are.
Thank you, Danya. Ben, thank you for the super chat. Your cat hasn't made an appearance in a while. She died. That's why. In June 2023.
Yeah.
No, was it 23? It was. Yeah. No, she died. She was a rescue anyway, so we were never quite sure how old she was. She was always a sickly cat, though, wasn't she? From when we got her, she they told us at the time
issue, didn't she?
She had like bowel issues. Yeah, bless her. But she was a very, very sweet cat.
She was a weirdo, but yeah.
She was the weirdest cat, like absolutely obsessed with me.
You've got the urn with her ashes in.
I've got an urn. Yeah, of course I have.
Yeah.
Well, they were like, "Oh, do you want us to just chuck her in the fire, or do you want an actual like individual cremation bar?" I was like, obviously an individual cremation. I have a little paw print canvas. I have all sorts. I have a lock of her fur in a jar. That's a bit weird, actually, isn't it?
No, it's sweet. You loved your cat.
I did love my
Someone
cat.
had to.
She loved me. Didn't Liz bench press you in that one video?
Yeah, easy.
Where are we? Do you think truck and plane pulling will feature much during 2025?
I think we'll see a truck pull at World's Strongest Man. Definitely. I don't know that we'll see it much in other comps. It's not a great indoor event.
No.
Because it's actually a bit too easy indoors to do a truck pull.
Smooth, shiny floors.
The flooring is very smooth. It makes it much easier. Outdoors, much, much trickier. Obviously, plane pull is cool. One of my favorite events I've ever done is plane pull. Just looks cool.
It does look epic, doesn't it? I get why people mention Thor, Mitch, Tom, but what do you think about Lucas Hatton right now? Preston looks really strong. Lucas looks
great. Yeah, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
He's looking fantastic. His overhead is just phenomenal.
Wild, yeah.
He's looking strong.
Yeah, and like looking at things like the deadlift, I mean, if you look at Strongest Man on Earth, where they did a raw deadlift, it's probably not fairly reflective of what he's capable of, because he got that second lift. He was penalized for his thumb coming.
Evan or Lucas?
He was
Lucas
one of on the second rep. He had it taken away from him.
Yes.
It went up easy though, so he still went for the jump, and he went for a probably slightly too big a jump, and he missed it. Yeah, so I expect him to be at least mid-pack on the deadlift. But yeah, he's looking great. Like, he's really good. Yeah.
The overheads he can win.
Yeah.
He looks ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely agree. I think there's a couple of like, the trial by timber and the timber carry are more sort of unknowns for Lucas, but he's definitely a podium contender, I think.
Absolutely.
Where are we? That guy from South America in 2022. Yeah. And this is what we mean. I would rather another really capable American than a token representative of a different country. And someone said that poor Chinese guy was outclassed. It must have been hard for him in front of his countrymen. I agree. Yeah.
It's like at the Olympics when they've had do you remember Eric the Eel in the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're making a mockery of them.
Yeah. I think if Tom gets to a decent start in the deadlift, he will get in the top 3. If he makes a mistake in weight selection, or if it's just a bad start, he will be outside the top 5. I don't think he'll be outside of the top 5 no matter what, to be honest. I think he's got I think he's got 2 slightly weaker events in the deadlift and the timber carry. But other than that, I think all of the events are really good for Tom.
I agree.
The other 4 are
Tom
great.
comes
for
in
Tom.
shape. He's a contender.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think he'll do well.
Definitely.
Where are we?
I just looking at some comments a bit further down.
Oh, okay. Heard from Reddit that Maxim isn't feeling confident. Is this true? I think that was more. Oh, I don't know, actually. I read that also. I don't know if it was to do with the deadlift or the whole competition. So I'm not sure, to be honest. But I'll ask him when I get him on.
I think Maxim's realistic. And
yeah, he is.
When you have an event that you're probably going to come last in, it's hard to be confident.
Yeah. I saw someone on Reddit was like, oh, he should just go out, lift 100 kilos on the deadlift to take his 1 point. But you can't. The minimum is like 350, 360 kilos, something like that. So you still got to try. You still got to lift pretty heavy just to get your 1 point, because if you don't do it, you zero. If you don't, like, just attempting isn't enough either. You have to lift something. Yeah. What's the best technique for throwing a washing machine? There's an old video of Big Z and Thor doing it. It was the old record breakers, isn't it?
Yeah, those are fun. I don't know what the best technique is. I've never thrown a washing machine, but I'm willing to give it a try. Although not our washing machine. Maybe an old.
Not our washing machine. That's quite new.
I think when you were talking about your cat, your biceps were showing.
Oh. When I was doing what? You
were talking about the cat. I think you were kind of flexing by accident. You were scratching your head or something and your biceps were popping up.
No, maybe that was when I was swinging my imaginary toaster. I don't know. Sorry, I wasn't doing it on purpose. Since the Arnold's is a really heavy show, how does the extra event this year impact recovery on the athletes?
They should be used to. Basically, it's 3 events a day, so it's not something that they're not used to. They're used to 5, 6 events a day in certain shows. A lot of these guys would have done the RAW Classic, which was 4 events a day, super heavy. So I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for most of them. You should see a lot of them working on conditioning in training as well, and it's a relatively fit group of athletes.
It is, yeah.
I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Is this our Josh?
It is.
What social media stunts are planned for this week? Josh, I've got a few saved, actually, if you want in. Yeah.
Of course he wants in. Well, he doesn't get a choice. He's just
if
I don't get a choice, Josh definitely doesn't get a choice.
Part of the crew. I will show you tomorrow. Where are we?
What are you looking for?
A good comment. Ultimate deadlift controversy. Austin Andrade's 470 in Vegas. He looked it out and didn't drop it. No, it dropped him, to be fair.
He fell backward.
Yeah. Like, if he'd been a bit luckier, he would have got the down call before he went down and it would have counted, because he did lock it out. But obviously, you have to wait for that down call. And,
he will come back and he will pull that weight. And he's getting stronger all the time.
He's shown he's good for
it. Learn from it. The problem is, if a referee gives that, it's a soft lift. And you get
it would have been a very fast call to give it.
I'd rather see strict lifting. And, he'll come back and be better. I'd rather be talking about it as a non-lift than seeing a good lift given for a weak lift. You want these massive lifts to be decisive.
Yeah. It'd be like his
say if Thor pulls 505 or something like that, it's going to be question mark.
It would be a nightmare.
Whereas if you pull it definitively, you stood there locked out, referee gives the down signal, you put it down under control. No one can say a damn word, can they?
Yeah, and Austin's that kind of guy as well. He wanted to be no question marks over it. So he'll do it. It'll be fine. Hold on. What have we got? Ben, thank you for the super chat. I think Trey needs to be coached better to win more. Trey has a great coach in Chad, and
Trey's coming. Remember, Trey's coming back from a torn Achilles.
Yeah,
and he before that he was winning shows. He won the RAW Classic twice before it changed to the strongest man on earth.
He was very close to winning the Rogue Invitational. 22, I think it was.
He's been, was it 4th at Worlds?
Yeah, he has a couple of times.
Very good.
Yeah, Trey's great.
I think Trey is a lot smarter than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
He comes across as the country bumpkin type, but he knows what he's doing.
Only to you.
No, he does. But like Trey's a great athlete.
Yeah, Trey's great. Yeah, it's competitive, and he does have that weakness in the.
He's got a weak grip.
Grip, but that's a nerve issue, and I'm not sure what his coach can do to fix his nerves. To be honest, so yeah.
Chad Coy's his coach. Chad's a good coach.
Yeah,
There's no question about it.
Most importantly, they work well together,
Yeah.
and you can see that sort of connection with them and respect, and yeah. Question for Liz.
The opposition is just really hard as well.
Yeah, exactly. Is Loz a good dancer? As good as the lead singer for Bad Manners? I don't know what Bad Manners is or who the lead singer is. Yeah, Loz is an okay dancer. Like he can move. His body can move. Where he lets himself down is his hands. Because you do.
That's because I copy you.
The body's fine, and then it's like it's the fingers.
Where do I pick the finger thing up from?
Yeah, but that's a piss take. You're not supposed to do it out of the club.
But then I like to, just
I know.
take the piss.
I know. Yeah.
I'm not a good dancer. Is the answer to the question?
Wow.
I'm probably not as bad as people would expect.
You don't have two
but
left
I'm
feet.
not a good dancer. Let's leave it at that.
Fair. Fair. Oh dear. Oh God, I train Monday to Friday, but want to hit everything twice a week. What's your recommendation to achieve this? I just wouldn't. Just wouldn't.
Depends on what your goal is, but you don't need to train everything. A lot of movements train multiple muscles anyway. And if you're a strength athlete, you certainly don't need to be worrying about training everything. If you're a bodybuilder, it's a little bit different. But don't overthink things. People can, you haven't put biceps into my training program. Well, you're doing bent over rows, you're doing deadlifts, you're doing like stones, you're doing multiple movements that are going to work the biceps anyway. So don't necessarily have to. And you've got to kind of think about what you're capable of doing. If you're not a professional athlete that can just train as many times as you want, there's going to be sacrifice in certain areas. But I would prioritize movements that will work multiple muscle groups. Compound movements are always good for that, particularly as strength athletes. You have to focus on compound movements, but even as a bodybuilder, I focus on them as well.
Look who's here, Rebecca Roberts on the stream. We were talking about you, Rebecca. All nice things there. All nice things.
Even Liz said nice things, so there you go.
I always say nice things. I throw in a bit of sass, but I always say nice things. There we go. Kid Kobe asking who we think is going to win. We're going to sit down, think about it properly, and do a prediction video. Yeah, because we've not done any proper predictions yet, have we?
No.
Could you imagine a Brian Shaw fridge carry at Strongest Man on Earth? That would be a killer.
That'd be cool.
My wife pointed out that Loz was helping Andrea on the sled drag by using his foot. Yeah, he was helping a little because, to be fair, that was heavy.
It had all three of us on there and it wasn't moving.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to do was just kind of take a little bit of the weight off so she could practice. It's kind of like an assist on a bench press or something like that.
Yeah.
Believe me, she was still doing really well.
Yeah. James Jeffers, really looking forward to doing a training camp for North Americas like the boys did for the Arnolds. The North America's Strongest Man is now an official qualifier for Strongest Man on Earth. So I think with the stakes being raised there a little bit and another way in, I mean, it's going to be hard because they have some great athletes.
Yeah, some awesome athletes.
Yeah. Was there any bad blood from the athletes to the rogue organisers over the bull pool, which injured Trey and which was in hindsight a dangerous event? I don't think so. No.
You find with most of the top athletes, they understand the risks that they put themselves through. It tends to be fans that get more upset than athletes.
Yeah, by some margin as well, I would say. We need an Uncle Loz and Auntie Liz dance-off competition. That is one thing I could actually kick his ass in.
She would definitely beat me.
So I'd be happy.
We could do a dance-off on one of those machines.
I've kicked your ass on those but every single time we've done them. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right,
that would be better than
just
a dance because at least there's something for me to focus on.
Yeah, and it's a points-based system also.
Yeah. There's a result rather than just opinion.
Yeah, there's not many things I'm better at than Loz, so I get very excited.
You're better looking,
oh,
and you're a better dancer.
And ice skater.
Oh, definitely.
I'm better at thumb wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got 4 things that you're better at.
And I have better biceps.
Yeah, you've got attached biceps, which helps.
Attached, yeah.
Someone in the gym the other day was like, "Oh, Loz, your biceps are awesome." I was like, "You don't want biceps like mine; they're bloody dwarfs."
Oh, Liz, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well can Loz twerk?
Not very well. Not like Andrea. She can twerk.
She can twerk. Liz, who enjoyed the video with the wall? You or Andrea? She definitely was getting. Oh, that's definitely that was one for Andrea. Yeah, that was definitely
really getting into that. Wasn't
she was enjoying that wall. Oh dear.
I think me and Liz would both rather do a dance off than a 10K. She knows I'd beat her in a 10K. But we don't want to do it.
Neither of us want to do that. No. I'm trying to lose weight because of my health. I've changed my eating habits and work out at least 3 days a week. I do a lot of cardio, but add in strength and other workouts. Do you have any advice? I would spend at least 2 weeks tracking every single thing that you eat to get a really good understanding of what you're actually eating, because most people have no idea.
Yeah. You need to understand
calories, that weigh your food and track it accurately.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that they just kind of consume food without realizing. Like, for instance, people go to like a coffee shop and they don't think about the cake that they buy, or they'll kind of like just be cooking for the kids.
Sometimes, just eating leftovers.
Yeah, having like a biscuit or something like that.
Slice of ham out of the fridge when you open the door. That's me.
And sometimes if you don't really understand food and you're just kind of piling it in and not weighing it, you might not really understand what a portion is and how many calories are in certain foods. Yeah. So having a good understanding of that makes a big difference first, because it's very easy to, like, I don't know, have pasta or something like that. Pasta can be quite high in calories if you have too much. So you can think you're eating the right things, but if you're eating too much of it, it's still going to make you put on weight.
I would focus on protein as well, because it will fill you nicely, and if it will help with your strength training, help you add some more muscle, which means you're going to burn more calories. I don't do any cardio. Like, I do try and get my steps in every day.
Yeah, 10,000 we both make sure we get our steps in, but neither of us
don't do any cardio. I hate it.
The only time I do cardio is if I really want to work on my fitness, or I'm purposely needing to lose weight for a specific reason. So say I was going to do like a cut for an event or something, I may add cardio in for that purpose. But we get a good amount of general cardio just from walking every day, which is a great reason to get a dog. Yeah. Because before we had the dog, you didn't move much at all, did you?
No, I didn't. No, yeah. I didn't move.
Now we're a lot more active.
Yeah. I didn't have to move with my cat. We would just cuddle up.
Yeah.
Someone said, let's see Rebecca and Liz on the arm wrestling table for fun. No, that would be a terrible idea, because Rebecca is so strong and she wouldn't know how to keep me safe in arm wrestling.
Rebecca's very new to arm wrestling.
Yeah. So that would be really bad news for me.
One of the most dangerous things is someone strong arm wrestling that doesn't know what they're doing. At the moment, Rebecca's learning from some really good people, Neil Pickup and people like that. And they will always keep them safe, which is very important with arm wrestling.
Yeah. Where are we? Loz, contact Rogue and ask if you can try out their backlift apparatus.
That would be cool.
Loz needs a machine to dance. He lost before it starts. I agree.
Exactly.
He needs to be told what to do and where to put his feet.
Yes. Our daughter, she can dance.
Alexa.
Yeah.
She actually can.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Loz, what adjustments would you make to Maxim's deadlift training? He doesn't seem to have weak back or posterior chain. What's wrong in your opinion? I'll be honest, I haven't watched what he's doing in terms of training. So really hard to answer that question without seeing what he's doing in training, and then kind of nothing against Maxim. There's no reason for me to watch him for deadlifting.
No. What on earth is this, El Press Cat? Has anyone ever made tuna shakes to squeeze in protein?
I know people that have done that.
That sounds vile. Do you know what? I had a meal earlier, like my lunch, over 60 grams of protein.
What did you have?
I had a tub of cottage cheese, and I stirred in a scoop of whey protein, because it's almost like Greek yogurt. It's neutral, yeah. So it became like a mousse with chewy bits, and then I had half a pack of cooked chicken. And it was like just over 400 calories, and it was like 60 grams of protein.
Your diet is weird.
I don't.
This diet is like the convenience diet.
Yeah, that's why our
That's
food
why
bill's
she
so
doesn't listen
expensive.
to.
That's why I won't listen to. No, because I'd be cooking all damn day, and I'm busy. I don't want to cook. I just want to look good. Yeah, see, a guy in my gym broke another guy's arm trying to arm wrestle a couple of weeks ago.
It's not good.
Yeah. How do I understand and know what I'm working out when it comes to food portions, as I could easily over or under? It's hard because everyone's got a different sort of base, haven't they?
You need to figure out what
calories.
your maintenance calories are, and then work from that. And then whether you're trying to add weight or lose weight, well, you kind of
work to a deficit
but you need to figure out what your maintenance level is first, which you can do pretty like nothing is going to be perfect because there's so much variety in terms of how often people move, people's natural ability to their metabolism, how fast things work, but for the most part they're fairly accurate, and you can figure out where your base level is and then reduce calories by 250 calories to start with. You don't want to do anything drastic, and then if that's not working, you reduce again, or you increase your movement, increase your training. Obviously, Liz is training 4 times a week now from not training at all. So she's been able to increase the food that she's added a little bit of muscle to her frame, and now you're able to eat more than you were before, which is a nice position to be in. But
still lose weight.
But your weight loss is very small now. Like you're not trying.
And to be fair, I'm not trying to lose weight anymore.
You're basically trying to stay the same, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm just figuring it out. Like, but some days I eat like 2,500 calories. Yeah, which is nice.
You're on about 2,000 to 2,500 most days.
Yeah. It was Ava that went to New York, and she's so tall, has the Shahlaei genetics. I look at her and think of her strong woman potential.
I mean, if you're talking about Alexa, she is tall. Ava, my older daughter, is really tall. Almost 6 foot, isn't she?
15. Alexa's really tall for her age as well. We see her going the same way, don't we?
Yeah. Ava, who came to America with me, I think could be a really good strong woman, but she just doesn't want to.
Which is
fine. She's more into drama. That's why she left New York. We went to Broadway, saw a show, went to museums. She had a good time.
What supplements do you both use? Do you know what? I bought a tub of creatine about 2 months ago. I've managed to remember to take it about 12 times. That's it. I don't use any supplements.
I use a few HR Lab supplements. So I've got like something called Basic, which has creatine and other things in it. I take a few different multivitamins. Sometimes if I'm feeling tired, I'll have a pre-workout. I have a carb drink during training, and omega-3s, a couple of other just vitamins and minerals. That's about it. Yeah.
I think you could do a book on your convenience high protein food, Liz. I think so too, Mark. I think it would be it could be a bestseller.
Rick's saying back in his poor student days, he did eat some crazy stuff. I was the same. I was actually thinking of doing a video focusing on like a low budget diet and then a high budget diet as well, seeing the difference.
Yeah, interesting. Brian Shaw talks about how he made shakes with canned tuna and orange juice when he was young and broke.
Derek Poundstone used to do chicken.
Chicken
shakes. Yeah.
I'm not sure I could stomach it.
But chicken shake is almost like chicken soup.
Oh yeah,
it's not that bad.
Actually, it's
I know people that do Diet Coke and tuna mixed together.
Why Diet Coke?
It just takes the taste of the tuna away.
That sounds gross.
I'm sure a lot of you have done the raw eggs.
No, I couldn't do that.
Do you know the worst thing about the raw eggs? Obviously, if you're a fan of Rocky, you see Rocky doing it, and anyone sort of my age that's into the gym has probably tried it at least once. It's the texture.
Yeah, that was.
It kind of hits the back of your throat. You just
don't even the sound. I can't bear that sort of clear, snotty on top of my cooked eggs. No, I couldn't. I wouldn't. That would be awful. But I do love eggs. I'm constantly popping an egg, aren't I?
Yeah.
He's like, what do we need for the shop? Eggs.
Yeah, we get you eggs every day, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Where are we? Cottage cheese and whey is awesome. It is. It's really nice. Blended chicken and OJ. Oof. I just eat the exact same meals every single day. Then I don't have to calculate anything. I think if you like stick with similar foods, you know how many calories are in everything you're eating anyway.
That's how I eat the same food every day.
I don't, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
Like there's about 20 different things that I eat, and I know how many calories and how much protein is in all of it. So I just bit from there. Yeah. Any tips for getting back into the gym habit after losing motivation after a period of ill physical and mental health? I did so well last year, but since December, I've lost my mojo.
I'm going to be honest, Laura. Motivation isn't a factor. I don't think of it as much. Like, I'll say this to everyone. I am motivated 1 out of 10 times to go to the gym. I very rarely feel like I'm motivated. I just make it routine. I've just made it part of my life that I know I'm going to train these days. And it's just like, for me, it's just like waking up and brushing my teeth. It's just something that I just do. And 9 times out of 10, when I get to the gym and have a workout, I feel so much better for it. But getting myself there, if it was about training when I felt motivated, I'd never do it. No. It's I definitely you have to make yourself. You can do things to help, like try and focus on things that you enjoy in the gym. You know, Liz enjoys strength training more than just doing loads of cardio. Well, I think cardio is one of the most boring things to do in the gym, particularly just steady pace cardio. It's just going to, especially if you've got no goal, jumping on a bit of cardio is just dull and boring. You're better off getting a dog and going for a walk and listening to podcast or something that you enjoy. But find a focus that you enjoy in the gym, whether it's getting stronger, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's a sport to focus on. Try and find something that you do enjoy a bit, and then you can start to create goals. You've enjoyed the gym a lot more because you've seen results. There's no doubt about that.
There's a real pain sort of area to get through though, because it takes about 4 to 6 weeks of going consistently before you notice any changes in yourself. I think
you absolutely hated the gym at one point.
I still don't like it, but the difference for me, rather than trying to find time to fit the gym into my life, I found ways to fit my life around going to the gym. So it's like, right, no matter what, like I have to feed my children, I have to go to the gym. That's what I did to force myself to go. I made it a priority over other things. Yeah. And now it's part of my routine. And it's everyone's
priority is going to be different. And, you know, some people can do 5 times a week. Some people might only be able to do 2 times a week.
Yeah.
But committing to those 2 times a week for a long period of time is way better than going 6 times for 2 weeks and then not going.
And I think actually for me personally, I asked for you to plan me 4 days a week instead of 3, because I actually think it's easier to go 4 days a week because it's more part of my routine then. I think I probably could go Monday to Friday because then it's just part of my Monday to Friday routine.
And for what you're training for, you could. Yeah. Whereas sometimes if someone's specifically training for strength, you wouldn't want to back off a little bit. You need a bit more recovery. But yes, it's just making it part of your routine. And I know the hardest part is getting started, without question.
Yeah.
But once it becomes routine and it's like, okay, I'm not waiting to be motivated, I'm just doing it. Then the results start coming.
Yeah.
It then becomes a bit more easy to kind of keep going.
Tuna and peanut butter on toasted wheat. That is dedication. Do you know what I have, which is really, really nice? I get it from Tesco. I can't remember the brand, but I get this brown protein bread that I toast. It's 10 grams of protein each, 100 calories in each slice, 200 calories, right? I toast it, no butter. I put on 2 eggs. So what's that? 120 calories, 6 grams each of protein, and 2 slices of turkey bacon, 30 calories each, 6 grams of protein each. And that is 10, 20, 12, it's about 42 grams of protein and only about 400 calories. And it's really nice eggs and bacon breakfast.
I have like turkey bacon and eggs with wholemeal thins.
Yeah.
It's like having a bacon and egg sandwich, but it's high in protein, low in calories.
Yeah, and it just tastes good. Yeah. James Jeffers with a relevant question. Who are your guys' guesses for who could be reserves? Once Europe's over, it might be easier to get a better guess. I think Tim Buck, as an American, I mean, he, bless him, I feel like he was one of the sort of casualties of having a smaller lineup this year. He tied with Bryce Johnson at OSG for second place points and only lost out on the stones. So I think Tim, I think there'll be a British reserve, which I assume will probably be Paddy, who came fourth at Brits. And then I think, I was going to say maybe Reno now as a rest of the world reserve, but I don't think he will. I don't think he'll even get called up as a reserve because he pulled out of OSG, personally.
I think we've got to wait and see
so
what
maybe
happens
one
at
from
Europe's.
Europe's,
We'll see.
Yeah. It's, don't know. Don't know how many they'll take. They'll have at least 2, possibly 3.
I think the one person that's not in yet that probably deserves to be in is
Wesley. I'm hoping he's one of the 4 remaining announcements, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Best pre-big lift song for you both. Anything that gets you in the mood. Pink Pony Club. No.
No, you've been more Nicki Minaj recently, haven't you?
I do listen to quite a bit of Nicki Minaj stuff when I'm training because she's quite aggressive in some of her lyrics, but it's quite sexual as well.
Liz is in the gym with her headphones in. Listening to dodgy lyrics.
I can lick it, I can ride it while you slip it and slide it. What are you listening to? Oh, I've gone red. What are you listening to?
I don't listen to anything.
No, you don't actually, do you?
No.
Oh, I do. I turn it up so loud I can't hear him. He's like trying to coach me through something. Like, what?
I'll tell you what, sometimes driving to the gym, I listen to a few Hans Zimmer soundtracks.
Yeah.
I like some of his.
They make me sleepy.
Yeah, but play them loud. They're quite epic. They can get you in the mood.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a weirdo. I'm not like someone that needs the heavy sort of metal kind of.
I don't. No, I can listen to all sorts.
Yeah, there's
as
lots
long
of
as
songs
it's not something too soft. Yeah. Something.
I do have a training. I have a training playlist on my phone. If I'm training on my own, I will put the headphones in. But usually, I'm training with 2 other people, and we just shout at each other and have a bit of banter and shout at each other. Something.
Yeah, a bit rude, wouldn't it? Greek yogurt over cottage cheese.
Does Loz like a McDonald's cheeseburger? There's better burgers out there than McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's is okay, but it wouldn't be my go-to. Like something, I'm eating well at the moment, so I'm not really having too many rubbish meals. But I follow this page on Instagram. It's a place in Australia. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. But the food on there, I'm like, I want to go to this place. Third Wave Barbecue. Look at some of the stuff on there.
Wow. Yeah. Epic.
Like
stuff
like that. I'd be like, yeah, get that in me.
You'd hit your protein for the day.
Yeah.
Doing cardio while watching your videos makes it way easier.
There you go. You just watch us.
Yeah. The few times in the past I've done cardio, I like listen to podcasts and stuff or audiobooks.
Yeah.
Just like try and get lost in something to not concentrate on what I'm doing.
Isn't Loz going to Canada soon? How will that affect the live streams?
We'll still do it.
We have to do.
I'll dial them in. It'll be fine. We'll still do it. Yeah, it'll be fine.
There was a famous bodybuilder named Paul Dillett who never did the squat. Are there any strongmen who don't squat in training, given that a squat is a regular event? There's been strongmen that don't squat too much. Some bodybuilders and strongmen will focus on like leg press more, but sometimes the squat turns up in strongman, so you can't avoid it completely. There's times that I don't program squats for athletes, but you're going to have to train legs to a certain degree. And, you know, the squat for most people is a great exercise. Sometimes you've got to learn how to squat, and a lot of people don't really know that. If you look at a video, we had Becca down, and she's just like, I can't squat. And everyone was trying to teach her to squat wide because she's 6'4". Everyone thinks she needs to squat wide. Actually, and, you know, I made that mistake originally, thinking, okay, probably need to squat wide. Got her down. It's like, wide isn't the way for her. We kind of got her squatting narrow stance. Suddenly she's in a much better position for her physical structure, and her squat is improving all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just figuring out the best way for you. And using other methods as well. I really like the leg press. I think it's a great exercise, great assistance for deadlifts, but just great for putting on size into the legs. It's probably a better choice for most people than a squat in terms of bodybuilding, because you can kind of really push the reps harder. There's this ability to kind of force a few extra reps with some spotters, but you don't have to squat. But essentially, if a squat's going to come up in a competition, there's going to be a time that you will need to squat at some point as a strongman.
Andy, can't wait to see what shape Y Pavlo is in at Europe's. At full strength, he could push Mitch later in the year. I can't wait to see Y Pavlo as well.
Obviously, he won that Giants Live that he did in Wales.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, we all want to see him back in that kind of shape. He's just an unknown at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
I hope he's back in great shape, but it's going to be difficult. But we will see. He's looking strong in his training, so certainly excited to see how he does. I don't think it's the best comp for him to come back to. It's quite a athletic event. Like, it's not a power show.
There's a lot of moving. Yeah.
So I think maybe there's better shows for him to come back to. But yeah.
I would turn this question around and say, why would you say Adam, based off of the last year only, why would you put Adam over Paddy?
Yeah, I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
But Adam's a great strongman.
He is.
Great strongman.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know why, like, rather than asking us why not Adam as a reserve, why would you put him in as a reserve? I've got my reasons. I think Adam's fantastic.
Yeah. And he was having such a good showing at Worlds before he got injured. But no, 6th place from Worlds last year hasn't been re-invited because he didn't place top 5.
Since then,
as far as we know,
he got injured at Worlds. Adam did Britain's Strongest Man, pulled out halfway.
Yeah.
Was not injured.
No.
Just pulled out because mentally he wasn't ready.
He isn't doing Europe.
He's not doing Europe.
He's doing no other qualifier.
I personally don't think he deserves to go to World's Strongest Man over athletes that finish the show and are sticking to the qualifying route that has been set by World's Strongest Man.
And I think Adam would agree.
I think he has to. Yeah. And this, I think Adam's amazing. He's a great strongman. But the same argument with Paul Smith. Why wasn't Paul Smith doing Britain's? Because he didn't do the qualifier. If Adam could have easily finished that show and been top 3, I believe, and then he'd be going to Worlds. Yeah. But he decided he didn't want to. Yeah. Now, you can't then say that guy should go over the guy that busted his ass off, won 2 events and ended up 4th.
No, I agree. Do you think Yako would be invited even as a reserve? I don't think he will, unfortunately. No.
Unfortunately, Yako was ill when he came over to the Giants Live World Tour Finals. Yeah. And that was really his chance to get back there this year.
Because he didn't make the final at Worlds last year.
I think Yako needs to look at getting to another big show and doing well. I don't think we'll see him at World's Strongest Man.
No. I would like to see, though, so they don't drop off of the radar completely, I want to see a lot more shake up in the Giants Live lineups going forward. So I don't want many, like I get you need bums and seats. So you can invite a couple of the top names.
You're going to invite the Mitch Hoopers, the Tom Stoltmans,
But behind that, I think I want to see a lot more variety in lineups and less repeats. So guys have a chance to get back to the world.
I don't want to see Gav Bilton and Parr in every Giants Live.
I would never single out people.
But that's what people are pointing out.
I know what you mean. I think
they deserve to be at a Giants Live. I think we need to, unless you are one of the guys that's top 3, then you've got to have different people in these shows.
And I think a lot of what happens, though, is they end up coming in as reserves when people pull out. Because it's convenient.
Absolutely.
Because it's convenient. And why would they turn down that?
And I totally agree with you.
But we need reserves decided early on. Yeah. So we've got a contingency or whatever, a plan in place for pullouts. So it's not happening like that.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it's not, if you're an athlete and you get invited, you say yes.
Yes.
I'm never having a go at the athlete.
No.
But as promoters, we need to kind of be looking at different people coming in.
Yeah. And give people more opportunities throughout the year to qualify. Disney rock is the best gym music. See, that's where I would draw a line. I couldn't. No.
Yeah. No. Jeremy likes a bit of Hans Zimmer as well. Good man.
I listen to British punk. Don't mind a bit of like Blur and stuff like that. Loz, in your opinion, which up-and-comer has the most potential? I think it's Andre Foytu or Glenn Glasscock.
I've been super impressed with Ben's progress. Andre is awesome. I think Andre is certainly someone to look out for. I think someone to really look out for this year is going to be Nick Guardione. He did amazing last year. I think Josh Spurgeon, who I train, is going to shock a lot of people. He's qualified for Strongest Man on Earth by winning the RAW Classic. There's others on the way up. There's a lot of good athletes out there, and athletes that we don't even know about.
Yeah. God, Rebecca's got terrible taste in music. What makes someone's body better for narrow or wide squat stance?
Body shape and the way your kind of hips are set and the length of your limbs. So obviously everyone is built differently. If you take Liz, for example, she's got short femurs, long torso. She suits squatting such a great movement for her. Whereas
I take a more narrow stance.
Yeah. You get someone, try and think of an example.
What, of longer legs? And
yeah, I'm trying to think of some strong men or strong women with long legs that would need to squat much wider.
I mean, Thor squats very wide.
Yeah, I mean, Thor's very tall.
Yeah.
Thor's got a much wider squat stance. So a wider squat stance tends to suit more hip dominant lifters. A narrow stance tends to suit more quad dominant lifters. But there's variations within that as well. So it's good to kind of experiment and see what works best, even in terms of what shoes you wear. Some people are better suited to flats. Some people are better suited to heels. Again, normally the wider hip dominant squatters are better suited to flats. Narrow stance squats better suited to Olympic lifting shoes. There's lots of variations, and you need someone watching you that can really understand the best movement mechanics for you as a lifter.
What a great username. Bulk Brogan, thank you for the super chat. Opinions on historic lifts like the back lift and the hand and thigh lift. The few who do it are lifting 2,000 pounds plus. I always did show up at the Arnold's or Strongest Man on Earth to see what would happen.
I would genuinely love to see some of these lifts, and we have seen them crop up in Strongman occasionally. The downside to them is often the events go on for ages with these type of lifts, so it can become quite boring. But I do love seeing these type of lifts. I think they can be very good fun and things that I'd like to try myself for sure. Does there need to be something like a Giants Live East series or something for Asia East? So this is something that's kind of we're seeing. Official Strongman was over in Asia this weekend or last weekend, and we're seeing more representation from different parts of the world. And obviously, Official Strongman is the route to Giants Live, and Giants Live is the route to World's Strongest Man. So we are seeing better representation, more opportunities, but it still needs to continue to grow. I'd like to see things in Africa, Australia, Asia, Europe, America, North and South, just getting the sport bigger and better from all these regions, getting more and more people into it and seeing the talent that's out there, because there's certainly talent in all these regions. Loz, what was your oddest meal when you were broke and needed protein? My oddest meal.
When was the last time you were broke? I needed protein.
5 years ago.
You weren't so broke that you needed to eat something weird, though, to get protein in.
I've never had anything like weird. I mean, I've eaten tuna and stuff like that because tuna used to be super cheap. But yeah, I've never had anything like, I mean, I have tried weird things. But I'm trying to think of like the cheapest. I used to, one of the supplement companies that I used to buy from was a non-flavored protein powder, and it was disgusting.
Non-flavored?
Yeah, it didn't. There was no flavor to it. It just tasted crap.
Oh,
but it was cheap.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, before I met you, and I was young, kind of just I try and get the cheapest things that I could that would be high in protein. Yeah, that was probably the worst. You kind of you'd have to mix it with like Nesquik powder or something like that to make it taste a bit better.
Yeah,
I think protein powder in general has come a long way.
Yeah,
from,
it has.
Yeah, it
can be pretty tasty.
Yeah, I always find like things like rice was. We're not talking protein here, but rice was fairly cheap. Pasta, buying in bulk getting these kind of things was good. Protein is a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Protein, it really is. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I don't listen to music at all in the gym. I find it off-putting, a bit like turning the music down in the car when you're concentrating. I like to feel and hear what I'm doing. Maybe I'm weird.
You be weird. It's absolutely fine. We like weird.
I get that. Do you know what? I have to turn it down when I park. Actually, not if I'm parking somewhere I always park. When I'm parking somewhere new, I have to turn the music down.
Or you'll just be like, Loz, can you park?
When I used to drive into London quite a bit, I like the minute I got over a certain point into Hammersmith, right, music's going down because I need to fight for my life, basically, to make sure I survive it. So I get that, but I don't get, no, not in the gym.
Mark Sheridan is with Rebecca on Disney Rock.
And will we ever see Jack Osborne at a Giants Live? He has the body of a strongman, but the head of a geography teacher.
That was my favourite
So
comment
funny.
ever. Jack Osborne, he's been at Giants Live. He did England's, but not one of the majors. But he'll be back.
He did Europe's in 2020.
Yes, he did actually.
It was a bit of a weird year.
Yeah, Jack is improving very well at the moment. He's looking strong for the Arnold Pro-Am.
Yeah.
That's his next competition.
It's exciting. He's the only Brit going over to do
Brit.
it. That David, who represents Poland, but he lives in the UK, he's doing it.
Yeah.
David
So Jack's been doing really well. He won the Chaos Open last year, beating a number of guys.
Yeah.
Paul Smith was there, Ryan Bennett, David was there.
Yeah.
Number of good athletes.
Yeah.
Jack's doing very, very well. He's getting stronger all the time. He's working hard. He just needs to keep improving in certain areas, but he's working hard, and I'm looking forward to seeing how far he can go.
Right. It's been an hour and a half. I think we should wrap now because, places to go, people to see.
We should point this one out.
Oh.
He did say that.
He did say it. I mean, it sounds absolutely vile, doesn't it? Assuming that you're saying they were alive at the time.
I do like weird. That's why I'm with Liz.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Thank you.
But I find most people in the gym are a bit weird.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're all in this community.
The fun people are weird.
Guys, thank you for joining us. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and we'll catch you guys next time. Have an amazing week. Take care.
Yeah, have fun. Bye.